Back at Lake Lawn Metairie Cemetery. As promised, part 2. We're closer to the Metairie Road side this time. I'm going to share with you some of the iconic things that can be found at this end of the cemetery and at every end of the cemetery. Cool little statues. Let's make our way over here to the main drag, one of the main drags. There's a lot of people in the cemetery. I probably passed 24 coming in. Don't know if they're here, grieving family members, or if they're here doing what I'm doing, because social distancing, but needing to get out. Or maybe they have a YouTube channel too. You know, I kind of looked, when I had the idea for filming the cemeteries, it was mostly out of self-interest. Because if I ever leave New Orleans, I wanted a record of the cemeteries, because for me it's one of the most unique, iconic parts of New Orleans, one of many. But for me, like, really have a connection with the cemeteries. So I wanted to document them for posterity. And then I was like, well, so I started looking, and certainly the larger cemeteries, the more well-known cemeteries of New Orleans, like this one, for instance, have been filmed many, many times. It's on YouTube. So I debated, like, I didn't really want to step on anyone's toes. If somebody else was doing this already, and I really couldn't find it. There is a gentleman that I follow, I believe it's Reddy, and he films cemeteries all over. He's been from like the Southwest all the way. I've seen cemeteries he's filmed in the Midwest. He was kind of my inspiring idea, like my inspiration for doing this. He's way more knowledgeable about the cemeteries he's exploring as he's exploring them, which is envious, because I never have any forethought to research what I'm going to go film. So it was those kind of factors, like I couldn't really find anyone filming or documenting New Orleans cemeteries, and I, as a whole, like even the smaller ones, the less known ones. So that is why this channel is happening. It could be so blasted hot in this city. I'm really going to try to film over the summer, but it is brutal. I know that's like when the channel started was last summer. Well, that's when I started filming. I don't think I did my first upload until Halloween. But that's when I started filming, was last summer, like around my birthday. I need to get over there. Alright, we're gonna go back that way. I am looking for a very specific tomb. Probably the most well-known tomb, most photographed tomb in the cemetery. I don't know where the heck it is. I think it's in this corner. So this could be another Bell Oak search in vain. Or we may actually have some success. This battery life will depend on what happens. The cemetery is so beautiful. The tombs are just insane. Look at this one. Isn't that magnificent? I don't know if you can tell. I'm going to zoom in. The Madonna used to have a halo. And it looks like it had fleur-de-lis on it. Oh, beautiful. Lots of tourists. Alright, we're gonna head down this street here because I think this leads to the money shots, as they say. If you haven't figured it out already, I'm a junkie for statues, especially anthropomorphic statues, even like statues of people. And this cemetery is just rife with them, and very unique ones. There's another cemetery that we haven't filmed yet, not in the greatest shape. Last time anyway, that's another story. But there's another cemetery that has probably it's just rife with statuary, like large statues. So that one is on the list to be filmed. Well, they're all on the list to be filmed, but I definitely want to capture that one. Because it's hard to know, because the condition it was in when I was last there wasn't great. And in fact, minutes after my wife and I had been there, across the street from the cemetery, two ladies sitting on their porch were robbed by some teenagers, I think. So I don't know what happens to a film when I do that. I'm sure that looked really funky. I'll have to edit that out. Okay, I do see one up here that's very iconic. Not this one, but I do like that statue. Alright, I'm gonna pause here for a sec and jump right back in. Sorry about that. I've been having issues importing into Windows 10. So, the larger the video, the more problems I seem to have. So I'm trying to be diligent about stopping them at no more than 10 minutes. So, for some, this is probably nightmare fuel. Their sizing isn't quite right? This is supposed to be a woman, and these are supposed to be children. The scale is all off. So I have read stories about people who claim that these two children actually run around the cemetery at night. I don't, buy any of that. It's just their eyes do seem to follow you. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Just sharing the stories I've heard. I mean, they let them have ghost tours in here, so I don't think anything I'm going to say is going to be any more disrespectful than what tourists are hearing. Alright. So let's make our way this way. I think I'm close, but I don't know because I don't have any frame of reference. I know it was near the road, so... Well, I don't know that. I vaguely recall that. Beautiful dogs. Granite. Really pretty. The cemetery is insane, right? These tombs. It's like, I don't know. They're like mansions for dead people. This one has some stained glass. There we go. think I know where it is. I think I see it. The tomb. It's pretty. Beautiful stained glass. Alright, I think I'm gonna have some success here, maybe. Sorry about all the noise. We are standing next to an interstate. I think this is it. Yes. So this is probably the... No, this is not it. I am sorry. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see. Really pretty. It's not the one. I could have sworn it was this one. Alright, so we're still in search of her. I would have wagered all of my money that that was the one. All of it. Alright, so we need to this one has I've heard an interesting story associated with it. If I try to retell it, I'm going to butcher it. I'm not even going to attempt to retell that story. But I will research it and I will put it in the description. How about that?